Okay, a demonstration of the low and high pressure valves that were covered in the update post that I put out. This will probably be attached as part of that. So essentially, this can be demonstrated really well if we go through the failures. So what I'll do is I'll start a DC essential bus failure, and this is a terrifying one. No one likes to see this. But what basically happens is we'll fail it, and you can see all the lights have turned off and whatnot. You've got quite a lot of things break. That's gone. That's gone. Essentially, a pretty scary one. Now, the interesting thing here is when you try to turn the engine master switches on or off, nothing's going to happen to the engines. And this is because these switches are not physically connected to anything. Of course, they're electronic. So if we switch both of these to off, nothing's happened to the engines. And in fact, the flight warning computer will tell you fuel engine 1 low pressure valve open. So the flight warning computer is monitoring this, and it says, hey, hang on a minute, that's set to the off position, but it's monitoring the valve, and it's noticed that the valve is not actually closed. So it's giving you a little indication to tell you that the valve is open. And part of the process in how you shut down the engines, because now you've got no working switches, you may wonder, well, how do you close or how do you turn off the engines? The answer to this is actually to close the low pressure valve. And they do this by pushing the fire PB. So if I push that really quick, you will start seeing in a moment, once the engine has run through all of the fuel that's in the engine, so we've closed the low pressure valve, so no new fuel is going into the engine. It's just using the fuel that's already circulating in the engine's pipes. And once it's run out of that, like that, there you go, the engine finally dies. So it takes a minute or so for it to run through all the fuel that's already been piped into the engine via the low pressure valve. And when we close that low pressure valve, it can't pump out the fuel that's already there, so it has to consume it before it finally shuts down.